Welcome to the Worldies. Welcome to another reading for today, July 15, 2025. I pre-shuffle my decks, so let's go ahead with the messages for today. What is the main state? What is the main state of the Earth today? God. The Earth state of the Earth today? The first thing that I see for this tarot reading is that some things that we've been putting our energy on, especially in the agricultural industry or productive industries, any industry to be honest, in personal life, a lot of things that we've been putting on energy are now finally giving us the results. Things that you've been working on, it's now the time you're gonna be starting to receive what you saw, kind of thing. It's very beautiful, the energy that I'm seeing right now. The image that I'm seeing is speaking about a lot of fruits, a lot of connection with the natural world. So I think a lot of people that's going to be listening to this reading has been dedicating a lot of time, probably working alone in a farm or anywhere you are. And most probably you now are enjoying the results of that work. Like if you're taking a vacation, for example, you have time to enjoy the money that you accumulated in regards to things going on around the world. I think a lot of people has been focusing on the agricultural needs. And also this month we have a lot of focus on dreaming, on desires, on fantasies, on things that we wish to happen. And I think, this energy is speaking about people that have been investing a lot of work alone, or they probably work independently, or their lives are really focusing on production and not so much about being close to loved ones. So I think this reading is speaking about that a lot of people in the world right now is feeling like they are not so close to the people they love, for example. What else? Something else that people is feeling today. What about this? Some people, especially males during this time of the year, are like working alone and away from their females. That's what I see. Some mothers are dedicated completely on themselves, and they have some real feminine energy that's interested in them, kind of, wishing for them to go and kind of save them, That's one thing that I say. And because of the astrology, there is a lot of focus on plans that we had, or ideas, or things that we thought during the past month are now starting to bring results. And at the same time, there's going to be a lot of emphasis in communication too. So I don't know, this seems like people that, for example, watch a lot of content of natural things, like people walking outside, people that grow food, for example, or agricultural life, but people that also are wishing like they have a connection through that world, probably through unconscious needs. It's very difficult to explain, but it's like I'm seeing an energy of one female and one male. The male is working and the female is like wishing for him to be close to her. What is this female about? What is this female about? I think that something happened in a very specific person that I feel right now. Something happened. It's probably between a couple. At this time, something happened between a couple, and the feminine part, or the one that's more in love with the other, is forced to be more alone, and they are longing for people. They're longing for someone that they really love, but they're doing a very good job moving on, like doing what they have to do. Maybe sometimes they overindulge a lot, you know. In regards to the global energy that I see here, there is a lot of effort in enjoying the results of things that we've been working on recently, and that is individual enterprises or things that we do by our own initiative. Now is the time to enjoy the results, for good or for bad. Okay, some people could be having a lot of time by themselves as well. That's what I see. Okay, let's move on, because I'm gonna try and use a lot of decks today. I'm gonna use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks. So let's go move on with the reading. So I want to see, what else do we have to know this middle of the month? Happy birthday to everyone this July 2025. This is the second part of the worldwide reading. Let's see, what messages do we have to know today? What worldwide messages do we have to know today? What is something that we really need to know about the world today? Oh, they jumped. Okay. Something in regards to working. There's something in regards to the way something in the world, things in the world work. We have to know that things in the way the world works are changing. How are these things changing? How are these things in the world changing? The way things work. Okay, how people offer their energy. How people are fighting against each other, or maybe how they solve problems. It seems like instead of being diplomatic or close to each other, being tender or considerate, things are going to be starting to appear more and more harsh and confrontational. And why is it going to be so confrontational from now on? Why is it going to be so confrontational? Mainly because, like, to the point is that there is a lot of people that's trying to do very deceptive things. This also correlates to the astrology this month. There is a lot of emphasis in that Mars in Leo. A lot of people is actually doing things that sometimes are very egotistical, you know. And what are these things that people are doing in a sometimes too audacious way? They're trying to level up. Okay, when people around the world try to solve problems, like, for example, trading in a fair manner, there is a sense of that by doing tricky things and selfish things, somehow people is gonna wake up and try to level up. It's like trying to get a result by doing something that's kind of scary or audacious, like even sometimes kind of offensive. And will this actually work, like the way that the world apparently is gonna work this month? Okay, some things are gonna be set on course. and especially people that are in the leadership position. Sometimes the people that are trying to make the world come back to a place of love, and could be competition, but like fair competition, are those in spiritual sphere. But when it comes to individuals, especially to leadership, I think there is a lot of strong intentions and actions taken by them. So what's the worst that could happen, or what's the worst things that we're gonna see happening in regards to these changes in how people work? It apparently is a lot of focus on how people work, and a lot of people is gonna be really feeling like lost the battle, they cannot win, something like that. Probably is like in regards to money, like when you invest money in something that you didn't win, and they're probably gonna be thinking that somebody else did something that was tricky, and that's why they didn't win. So there is a lot of emphasis in people doing things, and a lot of people around the world is gonna be thinking that maybe in conspiracy theories is kind of like they notice that people in power is moving things around, trying to appear like they're doing good, but in regards to their own lives, individuals and population feel like they're not actually the ones that are gonna be having the bigger take of the pie, kind of. So what good thing can we know, or what is the advice for this thing? Okay, so the advice is that sometimes in this world, a lot of people is going to be sent to war. Literally, that's what I say. A lot of people is doing certain things is like a work. So it's like they put in an effort or on creating certain movements in which a lot of people is going to be needing to be more independent in the way they work. Maybe it's going to be very helpful for people that's struggling in work, for example, with AI and with any other technological advancement, or people being laid off. It's very important that you understand what are your skills and what is the good, what is the bad as your skills. What is the best skill you have, what is the worst skill you have, and kind of understand that in this world you have to just be constant, persistent, and use the best skills to go ahead. And I see that really a lot of people is going to be thinking about sending people to war. Okay. What about this leadership? What are the ultimate intentions? This leadership, the ultimate intentions. Leadership really want to actually create a way in which their own creations, their own children, kind of their own nations, they're not having to be disappointed and always looking to what they have to do next. They want like a fix. I think that a lot of people in the leadership, like politicians and all that elite sphere, they are kind of tired. Like they want to just maybe be like before in the past when things weren't so difficult. That's what I say. Okay. What is people like collective gonna do in regards to these intentions? I think a lot of people is gonna be voting for more feminine energy, like voting for more. But I think also maybe they're not gonna win elections. So I think people is going to be connecting more with a feminine energy, with feminine. As I said in the previous reading, I actually saw that. So I think people is going to be, especially in America, for example, people is going to try to have a more feminine approach. And by that, I mean more protective approach, taking care of their land, for example. I don't think it's probably be with protesting, probably it's going to be by taking justice on their hands, by especially powerful women. They're going to try to have a say. And as I saw before in previous reading, they're going to have a lot of difficulties doing that. Okay, but there's going to be a lot of, like, at least one powerful feminine energy, could be blonde, around the world, that's going to be having a lot of saying in this regard. Let's go on. I want to do around a 60 minutes podcast for this month. So let's keep going. This is the third part of the global reading today. We see the 13 Scorpio energy is going to be very present. What about this transformation? What about this transformation that's going to be occurring globally? A lot of people that have been having to let go of things now are starting to see the way. Now starting to see how things are really going to work. Things are going to be ending, but this really says that there will be new beginnings. What about this new beginning? How is it going to look globally? It's going to look on incredibly. I hope this actually happens. But it's like, because of a transformation, there will be love. Like, I think maybe that's what people globally want to have. Like, even the ones that are trying to fight wars, yes, literally, even those that are trying to use force and military to make things happen around the world, I think that mostly all of them really think that their decisions come from love, or at least they come from a very emotional connection. Okay, well, this was like very to the point, kind of. How will it be affecting this to the world? Will it be? We have two cards. There will be literally the High Priestess and the Tower. So, as I said, there is going to be a very strong change. Something that people know, like, people are planning things. People are plotting things. People are scheming and planning I've been planning for a while. That's what I see in this month. Again, I see this energy so present sometimes in the worldwide readings. We have Pluto in Capricorn in retrograde. And that, well, there is some kind of Scorpio energy. Okay, some hidden things are going to be appearing. Most probably, some people are going to be understanding. It's going to be kind of like secrets, and it will be shocking. And these events, most probably in the news, they're going to be backed by things that have to change in the name of love, in the name of good, in the name of clarity, in the name of new beginnings or having new opportunities. And it's going to be probably something that's not going to be so funny. So it's not going to be so good, okay, for most of the population. Like, for example, while would be some things that people like from the street say in the news in regards to this. They're going to say that there is a lot of instability, a lot of emotional manipulation, like people using love This is a confirmation from the second part of the reading. So there's a lot of use of emotional things to make action. Okay, what other things could people be commenting on social networks after this thing happens? That leadership is very, in the good sides, like some people is gonna be really happy that these things happen. They're gonna be actually feeling a lot of good emotions for their leaderships. For people that actually make the decisions, like for the soldiers, for example, they're gonna be really praising them. That's one side that I say. Unfortunately, there are two sides in this world, So the other side of that is that some others are going to be really having the effects of these soldiers and these people that I think are really working towards this. And I really see a strong emphasis in when you fight for love, kind of activities. It doesn't really have to be military, but it is something that you do because of an emotional attachment and because you actually love something. And obviously, when you have an opposite side or an enemy, there's going to be, your side, and the other side is going to be hating you anyway because you're destroying them, basically, or winning over them, basically, or preferring yourself over them, basically. And so other people is going to be feeling like all this madness is making a lot of turmoil in their lives, that they're going to be saying like, these people that they're doing this, they make us believe that they're going to help us, and in reality they just make our life worse. He was going to be saying that. The other things is people is going to be very proud of a lot of leaderships, especially the ones that are more assertive or dominant in this time. And a lot of people is going to be a little bit envious of that as well. The other side is going to be envious because these leaders seem to have just things going on for them. And other people, like the bad side, is going to be like, these leaders don't know what they're doing. They don't actually know how to be leaders. They are completely arrogant, impulsive. They make my life hell. They probably could be saying that they should go to hell, those kind of things. And they would say like, in the name of love, you go to hell, kind of, There's going to be that kind of energy, I say, in the social network. Something else, like what? Okay. Again, there is a lot of workers that are going to be commenting and talking about these things, especially in the working sphere. I think that this month is speaking a lot about how things work and how things have changed for workers, okay, for the working class. And some others are also going to say like, now I can do new things. Now I feel like I can really just move ahead, and like what the fuck, like what the heck, I'm just gonna keep on moving and I'm gonna take a new opportunity. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people as well are gonna be having very difficult times. There's gonna be a lot of news of people that are resulting to theft and like stealing to actually make a living, people that are going through a lot of hard times, and there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be advocating for their needs in social networks. So far so good, right? Let me see what other messages. What about what's going on? What's going on with states? Like, give me something about really states, like movements between states right now. What's going to happen? The main energy of what's going to happen in regards to movements within states. Again, the energy of the magician as we saw in the third part of the reading just seconds ago, minutes kind of, seconds ago, the magician starts decisions that are taken, that both sides know the other is going to take. I think right now between states there is a lot of surveillance, a lot of watching out. I heard satellites watching what's going on in each country. Some countries are literally going to take good decisions to cooperate, and they're going to be very victorious with that. Like literally, one of the good things that could happen is that states and countries are really taking some good decisions. What about this? How is it going to look? It's going to look in a lot of people, for example, is going to be a lot of countries, not people. Some states are really going to focus on not destroying anymore. Will this be actually happening though? I really wonder if this is actually going to happen, dude. People is going to be like making a mess and then making something that's better. Making another mess, making something that's better. That's going to be probably what's going to happen between states. Like in a state level, people is actually showing restraint this month. That's what I see. Yeah, that's what I see. What would be the worst thing that could these people in state level position could do this month? They actually be probably focusing more on science. Can you believe it? More on science. But I said, what is the worst thing? The worst thing is that there was no worst thing actually. Maybe this month is gonna be one of those months that probably it's actually more peaceful than previous months in a global sphere. I don't know if this is actually going to happen this month, but it seems like people is going to be more focused on science and on developments, especially between states, that are more transformational than conflict, and which is very, very cool. But at the same time, between countries, they're going to be realizing that some of their partnerships are really not going to happen, or they're not going to be very, very good for each other. That's probably what they realize in the worst side, that they actually have relationship with people, like between states, with cultural differences, trying to do a good thing, but really difficult cultural differences between them, things like that. And we have another message. This is another message. Okay, so in regards to religions, there's going to be some kind of clash between religions this month. Maybe it's not going to be so much about war. It's going to be more about but I feel like this energy is a little bit different. It's like in other states, and they're going to be more focused on fighting for religion. Okay, they're going to be very mad. What are they going to do? Oh, really? The incredible thing that I see this month is that in state level, there is a lot of emphasis on actually cooperating, or on some sides, the people that believe in the same thing probably will be more united this time. That's what I say. Like religions and states that are more focused on religion, they're going to be teaming up together. That's what I say. Then the other bad thing is that people that are teaming up together but do not have religious beliefs that are close to each other, they're going to be having like these conflicts and like just understanding that even though you want to do things, it's like in your tradition and cultural beliefs, there is like a gap that's quite significant. Okay, we're coming to the end of the reading. This is the next part of the reading. Tell me what other things we have to keep in mind this month. Okay, cooperation, resistance will be not so satisfactory. Sometimes people, around the world, we're gonna recognize that just we cannot cooperate very well. Like things are not cooperating. Cooperation is not cooperating, kind of thing. Diplomacy is not diplomacy, not working. And there are going to be difficulties in how people cooperate each other, how they work each other. There's going to be a little bit harsh, like not so good. A little bit sad, like I wish it was better kind of energy. And what else do we need to know about this? Yeah, like a lot of people, it's gonna feel like they're taken advantage of or left behind. And what else about this text card? Okay. Okay, and the fact that they're left behind is gonna make them react partially. There's gonna be some people that are gonna be trying to defend those in need. There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be feeling compassion and rage, and they're gonna be taking action. Okay, what kind of action they'll be taking to solve this kind of problem? Again, they're going to be making alliances. In the global sphere, we can see news that people is actually uniting more with people that feel like family more, especially those that can recognize the difficulties of others similar to them. What will be the results of this? I think it's going to be more cooperation. There are going to be a lot of charities and institutions like that, and a lot of legal action initiated towards institutions, for example. Yeah, workers. I think workers are going to be uniting each other as well. And maybe some big institutions are going to have to face a lot of backlash. Like, you got to give more money to the poor and things like that. You got to cooperate more. You're not doing so much. Things like that. And will they actually do that? Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of focus on families. There's a great proportion of this planet that still focus on the idea of a global civilization. Yeah, for these people that resonates with this part of the reading, it's gonna take a lot of patience. Okay, and now let's go with the final part of the reading. The final part of the worldwide reading for July 2025. Let me know what last messages you have for us, Deki. Last messages. Okay, there's gonna be a sense of intervention in between groups of people. Okay, when people is gonna be stopping each other from going ahead and doing certain things that are harsh especially young people. Young people are gonna be, and women are gonna be advocating for cooperation, and they're gonna be having more presence. That's what I say. More presence. Will it work? How will be the results of these sections? The results will be that a lot of men are gonna join and are gonna invest on these initiatives. And I think it's probably institutions that it's like activism that stops things from happening. Like, wow. It's like they blocking chaos, like stabilizing things, harmonizing through action. That will be the saying, harmonizing through action, and it involves young people that go in the streets and take action, probably through protests, but I think they're going to be creating groups where people is influenced to not destroy each other, kind of. Oh yeah. And unfortunately, I think there could be clashes with law enforcement. But what will be the results like for the next month, for example? Okay. Really like that? Okay. So I feel like, unfortunately, guys, those that want to go and protest, I think you really have to be mindful that there are some older people that really are gonna invest a lot of money to stop you, okay? To really stop you. Yeah, to really stop you. And the older guys are really gonna try to use their upper hand. There's gonna be a lot of scenarios in which they actually succeed, but also in those in which they don't. Oh, probably they actually unite. If they do a bad job, they're gonna be uniting people against them. Or actually, the best thing that they could actually do is that instead of making people fight each other, they're gonna be people focusing more on the trading area. Like some good leaders, or leaders that really know what are the most difficult things in their states, for example, they're gonna really focus on cooperation instead of confrontation. And others that benefit from confrontation, they're gonna be doing that, and there will be probably a lot of demonstration and protests from the other side of the society. Okay, and I think that was everything for today. That was the reading for July 2025. This was your host, and see you on another reading next month. Have a good month for the most that you can. I'm gonna try to do the same. Bye.